Hello everyone, I am D. Shauna here once again on Retrothon 2022. Very excited and honored to be showing off another homebrew game. We just saw one from 2021. We're going to see another NES game released in 2019. This one by Morphcat Games. They've also released a really cool game called Space Skulls, and that one really awesome too. We're going to be checking out Bobl today. If you can believe it, Bobl is a game that's released on the Nintendo Entertainment System that has ghost replay data. It has a randomizer. It's got an easy mode. It's got everything you could ever want in a brand new homebrew game. I think the easiest way to describe this is sort of like a Metroidvania-ish. Yeah. There's going to be 8 ducks throughout the game. That's what the randomizer will do, is place them in random spots rather than where they're set. And yeah, that's the percentage here, is to pick up all the ducks. So we're going to go in here in just a second. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So you start off the game as a bubble here, and you bounce around. These little bells will act as checkpoints, which we will be taking advantage of for the speedrun a few times. We pick up this dive baubles, give us some progression. We can go even deeper in the water now. Did not mean to pop there. Apologies a little bit. It is almost 4 in the morning in my time. I have not slept. I'm coming up on about 20 hours without sleeping here. So if I make some mistakes, I've given myself a little bit of a generous buffer at 9 minutes. Hopefully we don't use all of it. We're going to pop up here to the top of the world, and using our dive bauble giving us just enough depth, we are going to come up here, take this bell for safety, hop up. See, this is one of the tougher jumps to make in a speedrun. You can definitely cause yourself some grief trying to get up here. It's not too bad once you really get the hang of it, but as you can see, it's pretty easy to still mess up. There's a lot of this game that I'm not going to show, even though this is essentially the 100% category, picking up all of the ducks. There's a lot of areas and ways that we don't go to make it fast. I'm going to be showing off one of them that's a suboptimal route, just to kind of show off Morphcat Games' ability to make a unique game. We're going to show a warp pipe, pretty obviously referencing Super Mario 3, which I appreciate since this is an NES game. So grab here the iron bauble. This lets us dive all the way down as far as we want and break these blocks, as well as safely take a single bounce off of some of the walls, which would have otherwise killed us before this point. Drop down here. This is one of the tougher rooms in a speedrun. You can get it in one bounce like that. Typically, 2 is safe to go with. Oh man. This is a dangerous game. As you can see, it's very easy to pop yourself, which is why it's extremely impressive. If you check out the world record runs in some of on SRC, there's a popless category, and there's an all ducks popless category that involves some absolutely insane frame perfect tricks. Moniker is essentially the master at this game. He has the world record in, I think, every category in every version of the game. So I'd definitely go check out some of his runs if this looks like a neat speedrun to you. I really enjoy it. It's short. There's a lot of movement, execution things, optimizations that you can do. It can be punishing if you're going for the fastest maximum strats, but it's pretty approachable as well. And then I personally love the soundtrack. I think there's some really solid songs in here. You don't hear them for too long at a time with the route, but we're coming up here on probably the hardest trick in the game. You might have noticed I've been studiously ignoring every bell. So that I could warp back here after I grabbed that upgrade that I just died right in front of. Ouch. Alright. That hurts. So the idea is you keep that bell as your checkpoint, come down and grab the double jump upgrade, which we will be grabbing here shortly, and then you pop yourself and go all the way back, which saves you a round trip back through the game that if you grab any of these bells, you'll have to do take a walk of shame. It's a, you know, essentially a reset in an actual PB run. Since we're in a marathon, we're just going to keep going through these mistakes. I'm going to give it one more try. If I pop again, then we'll go the slow way and take the safety bells, just so we can get through and see where the rest of the ducks are. There's some slight hiccups based on something to do with how you enter the water at the surface can change. The ball will kind of hiccup and float upwards even when you're trying to go down, and that can cause some problems. Okay. I cannot do this tonight. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's got to be that I'm just really tired right now. We'll go the slow and the intended route. That's the optimist in me says that just an opportunity to show off more of Morphcat's awesome game that they built. So we'll take that as a win. We'll just grab this bell. Not going to do anything fancy since we've already gone through here a few times. So the idea is that you can bounce, that was interesting, over here, grab this double jump, and then warp all the way back, right? So instead, we will take the long way around. We'll ride this pipe back through. It's not too much of a time loss in absolute terms, because where this pipe that we're about to come out of pops you up is not too far behind where you want to be. It's just that every screen transition adds, you know, unnecessary time. Alright, and we're finally on to actually collecting our ducks that the category is named after. We did pick up one down there. We've got 7 more to go. Aflac. Great name. You can tell that this game was made by some older folks based on the names of the ducks. We got Howard, Aflac. Scrooge is the one that we're about to grab here. Going back to the very first screen of the game, but with the iron bauble. Now this is the room that makes the all ducks popless a nearly impossible feat. You have to somehow get out of that room without getting popped. And while I know that it's possible, I've seen Moniker do it, I'm at a loss for words every time I see it. It's so impressive. Grab our plucky duck here. There is one other duck that you can grab at this point that I skipped over. That's the one that involves the warp whistle that I was talking about, and we will be getting to that here in just a minute. Here's our favorite Ferdinand. He's got a funny bit. If you hit the bottom of that pool with the clouds, you can actually get yourself in a bouncing loop that makes it very difficult to get out of there. It's not frame perfect, but it is somewhat tight execution on that jump. Alright, here's our warp whistle, very clearly Mario 3 inspired, which allows this frog to eat us and port us around the world. Not the fastest way, but I enjoy seeing it all the same. Oh, that was a frame perfect pop there. Nice. You get a couple opportunities there, but you only have one frame in which you can get the iron bauble down far enough to hit the floor and then actually not have the invincibility frames. I do it on accident when I don't want to pop myself far more often than I get it on that point when you are trying. So here we come to the final stretch of the game. Like I said, the speedrun's pretty short. You bounce around the cloud. This is kind of the most fun part of the game for me, because with the double jump and the bouncing, you can bounce off the bottom of these clouds to gain some extra height. There's just a lot of little platforming optimizations you can do here. And I learned this game under a race situation where the idea was a knockout tournament, and so the amount of like time swing that you can get in this section it makes it really exciting. That was our 8th duck, and we are coming up right here on the end. About to be time in just a second as I get past this screen, and that is time. At under 9 minutes, that's a pretty good run. It's, nothing compared to Moniker's run or, any of the early versions. This is the 1.2 version of the game. You can head over to itch.io. Morphcat Games has it. You can get it for free. The 1.2 version has the randomizer. It's got the ghost data, but also changed the way that the screens transition, and it's a little bit slower compared to the early versions of the game. There's our proof that we got all of the ducks, and the game does have a frame counter, which is really handy in those race situations like I was talking about. So awesome. Thank you again to RGL for putting Retrothon on. It's been a pleasure and an honor for me to play these games. The past 3 runners that we've had, Kumacon, Retrophile, and myself, we're all part of Retro Streamer Community Wrestling, which is hosted over on twitch.tv/peglegpete. Please go give him a follow. There's one show on Twitch that I never miss. Tuesdays and Fridays, I am there every single time. Peglegpete puts on the best show on Twitch. Please go give him a follow. All 3 of us are there as well in his wrestling league, and it's awesome. So that's my shameless plug of the night. Thanks again, RGL. It's been a blast. I'll be back in a couple days. Hope you all enjoy the marathon.